Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Kahalam La Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash, and also double honor to the apostles and the elders, grand millstone, and shalom to Yakim out there pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash. Okay, I'm back here again with a lesson right here. And this lesson is gonna go, it's gonna go into what's happening over there in the land of or in the country of bloody, France. Okay, and here I'll go get it right now. Okay. Right here we go. Okay.
Attempting to restore order as protesters riot in the streets across France while spectators watch unfolding destruction. Across the country on Friday, 45,000 police officers, including special forces, were deployed, arresting at least 471 people. After a fourth night of unrest following the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old boy by police.
The scale is actually massive. We've had a lot of protests against retirement reforms very recently. These ones are absolutely massive.
Today, Australia issued a travel warning, urging Australians to exercise a high degree of caution across France. Curfews have been introduced in some cities. Buses and trams shut down.
This violence is only directed at things. Streets are on fire, but not a lot of people are injured.
Emmanuel Macron causing outrage after he was seen dancing at an Elton John concert despite widespread rioting. At a second crisis meeting, the French president urged parents to keep teenagers at home, saying social media was playing a role in spreading unrest. In coming hours, a funeral will be held for 17-year-old Nael, whose death has sparked so much anger. Rosanna Kingson, 7 News. Attempting to restore order as protesters riot in the streets across France while spectators watch unfolding destruction. Across the country on Friday, 45,000 police officers, including special forces, were deployed, arresting at least 471 people. After a fourth night of unrest following the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old boy by police.
The scale is actually massive. We've had a lot of protests against retirement reforms very recently. These ones are absolutely massive.
Today, Australia issued a travel warning, urging Australians to exercise a high degree of caution across France. Curfews have been introduced in some cities. Buses and trams shut down.
This violence is only directed at things. Streets are on fire, but not a lot of people are injured.
Emmanuel Macron causing outrage after he was seen dancing at an Elton John concert despite widespread rioting. At a second crisis meeting, the French president urged parents to keep teenagers at home, saying social media was playing a role in spreading unrest. In coming hours, a funeral will be held for 17-year-old Nael, whose death has sparked so much anger. Rosanna Kingson, 7 News.
All right, so you see it, you see what's going on over there in France. All right. Let's go here.
The most destructive night of rioting France has seen in years left few cities untouched and hundreds of people under arrest. In Roubaix, an entire commercial building was torched. In Paris, stores were looted, and one of the city's premier Olympic venues for next summer, the Aquatic Center, was left badly damaged. I don't understand this outpouring of hatred. I have no words. We saw this city alive, and now people are in tears, she said. President Emmanuel Macron has weathered street protests before, but few with the intensity as these. He left an EU gathering in Brussels for an emergency meeting on the crisis.
Des jeunes, parfois des très jeunes.
1/3 of all the people arrested were young, sometimes very young people, he said, urging parents to keep them in tonight. He also blamed social media for fanning the protests, calling on internet companies to take down sensitive footage. Of course, it's because of this video of the shooting death of 17-year-old Nael that so many are outraged. He was the son of North African parents, and many believe his race made it easier for the officer to pull the trigger. The UN has now even weighed in.
This is a moment for the country to seriously address the deep issues of racism and racial discrimination in law enforcement.
It's an accusation the French government rejects.
I can imagine that every member of the government is afraid to have such a movement.
This sociologist says Macron has to sound like he understands the community's concerns, but not too much.
He has to take into account that he could lose the police officer if he appeared to be too near to this kind of people, the young people in the banlieue. So he has to manage a kind of equilibrium between the both.
Some places have now banned demonstrations. Others have stopped public transit from running late in a bid to keep people off the streets and quell the violence. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
So there you have it, man. All right, you see it? It's like, okay, let's go here. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And these are signs, that was happening over there in France. That's written over in the book of 2nd Ezra 9, the 9th chapter, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world, and you go on Google right now, you type in earthquake, you're definitely going to see that an earthquake took place somewhere around the world, Okay. It took a place somewhere around the world. And now what you see over there in France, it's nothing but uproars of people, man. All right. Going, protesting against, the government and all that. All right. Let me show you something here real quick. This 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and G, B, and C, right? He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, will bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, which you see over there in France, international intriguers, unstable leaders, all right, confused rulers, all right. That's all what's causing these riots and protesting. When you see these things happening, okay, in King James 4, it says, then shall they will understand the most aspect of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, and he says, you will know that the word the Most High Yahweh have spoken about since the beginning of creation, the beginning and the ends. Everything that happens in this world are clear. All right, that's what's happening. The end of each society is being shown is clear, because these signs are speaking unto us right now. Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Hey, look, and if you individuals out there really can say why you guys always talk about these, this is not like, yo, hey, we're going to let it be. All right, we're prophesizing, man. Okay, when you read the Bible repeats itself. The Most High, when He spoke to us, spoke to our forefathers, He repeated Himself so many times, man. It's the same thing that we're supposed to be doing. We ain't gonna go make videos of some bullshit that isn't happening. All right, we're the watchmen, man. Let me get that one as well. All right. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, and verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night. You that make mention of Yahweh, keep no silence. And this is what we are doing, man. All right, we believe with the true watchmen that Yahweh Shem Shah have set up. All right. Jeremiah 6:17. Also, I said, watchmen of you, saying, hearken to the sound of trumpet, but they said, we will not hearken. And and one thing is, as we make these videos, right, a lot of people ain't gonna pay attention to these guys always repeat themselves. These guys just they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Just like it's the same thing all over. You know what I mean? But hey, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right, because once this gets into your city of what you see happening over there in France, once it reaches to Babylon, once it reaches over here in Australia, where people are going crazy, you're gonna fucking then you're gonna want to try to take heed, but it's gonna be too late, man. Your city's shut off, march slow, you can't go nowhere. That's what all these camps are gonna lead into, man. All right. Ezekiel 3:17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them a warning from me. So this is warning we're giving our people, man. Okay, this warning is coming straight from Yahweh Shai. All right, but since it's coming from out of our mouth, people gonna look. Nah, man, these niggas don't know what the fuck they're talking about until it literally gets here. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, that shall surely die, and thou givest him no warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, by his blood will I require thine hand. Yet if thou want the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And this is what we're doing, trying delivering, washing his blood off our hands, okay, of these wicked ass niggas. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousnesses and commit iniquity, I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. By his blood will require thine hand, right? Because you didn't give warning to him. You didn't keep him, keep him on that fear edge. All right. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous sin not, and if thou have not sinned, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. That's our job, man, is to blow the trumpet and keep warning our people. So Isaiah 62 verse 7, and give him no rest until he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. You see, that's what we're waiting on, man. Going back 2nd Ezra chapter 15, I'm gonna start from verse 1. I'm gonna read quick. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord. And what we showing you in our video clip, again, this precepts, this is prophecies, man, popping off, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay, fear not the imaginations against thee, learn not the incredulity of them that trouble thee, that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destructions. And the Most High is doing that. For wickednesses have externally polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And this is Esau's work. You know, Esau's system or Esau's philosophy or Esau's way is not but wicked. It's nothing but wickednesses, and his spread around his spread through the four corners of the earth. You know, that's why you see these plagues, you know, hitting left, right, okay, different countries, man. You know, most are visiting them. Verse 7, therefore that saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickednesses which they profane commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the sons of the just complain continually. We're doing this here as we do this work, and also you have, you know, brothers and sisters that passed away in the truth, and guess what? They up in heavens complaining, you know, crying for for this to be done with. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. And that's the elect, you know, that the Most High is going to avenge for, you know, and receive. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to do in the land of Egypt. And this is the elect who the Most High is not going to let suffer, you know, or be led to a slaughterhouse, all right? I bring them with a mighty hand, which is Yahushua, a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and we destroy all the land thereof. You see? So, what you see happening over there in France is going to come to America, okay? Egypt shall mourn, and foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. You see that? They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fall through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful consolation. All right? Either through the heart machine that Esau has that causes rain and heavy storms, and, you know, hey, that right there is a weapon of Yahweh shot. You know, because who's in control? Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is in control. Give Esau that, you know, little power to create his, you know, little wisdom and knowledge to create our weapon. And now he's using our weapon to cause storms, tsunami, heavy rain, you know, earthquakes, you know. Now, and Esau also is destroying, you know, farms, man. Verse 14, woe to the war and them that do therein. For the sword and the destruction drew nigh, and one people shall stand up, fight against another, and swords in their hands. You damn sure seen that in our video, in those videos. It's like, yeah, over, you know, over what's taking place over there in France. It's like, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cost of their actions shall stand in their power. Eventually, man, it's gonna be crazy out here, man. People ain't gonna really take it, you know, listen to the government, the prime minister or whatever. They're just gonna be doing shit in their own, you know, in their own power. I mentioned is out to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because martial law is gonna be called, man. It's gonna be declared because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? So we're in the times where, you know, we might really see 2nd Ezra 15 popping off in these different countries, man. Remember, France is part of the beast anyway, you know. All right, so hey, the Most High is definitely showing signs, man. Okay, so, you know, this here was just gonna be a quick lesson, man. Also, Isaiah 19:2, you know, Egyptian are going against Egyptian. Matthew chapter 24, you know, these are times we're living in, man. You know, so hopefully this right here was edified to you brothers out there and sisters out there. Shalom.